Welcome to Local SEO in 10. This is your go-to podcast for answers about how you can grow your local business online easily and quickly. Brought to you by local SEO experts Magnified Media in Walnut Creek, California. In each 10-minute episode, our digital marketing expert Adam Duran answers your questions on how you can get more leads for your business fast. Remember, if you're not taking care of this part of your business right now, you can bet your competitors are. And now, here's our host with the questions, Jamie Duran, and our expert with the answers, Adam Duran.
Hello, Adam.
Hey, Jamie.
All right. How was your week?
Great. I mean, the beginning of the year, there are so many new tools and new policies and new things being announced that, wow, I have topics for the rest of the spring planned out already.
All right. Maybe we got to do 2 podcasts a week.
Maybe. I mean, it is, I think like a lot of industries anyway, it's ever changing. And when competition happens and, oh boy, very exciting.
Nice.
Very, very exciting time.
Perfect. All right. I'm excited for the first one you have for us today.
All right. So this one was inspired by a conversation with a longtime client that we've had for a little while. A long time. Yeah. Probably 2 or 3 years. And basically, it's all about the importance of having a consistent way of bringing in 5-star reviews for your business. So how important is this? I cannot stress how important this is, especially in regards to your Google local presence. Google really uses those stars for your business, those reviews, all across its properties. And so if you are taking advantage of those properties, then you want to make sure that you have tons of 5-star reviews and that you have a system in place to keep bringing them in. So I just wanted to go through today, talk about where they're used, the 5-star reviews, how you can get more, and just stress the importance of doing so. I've had tons of different clients come to us, and then, we're working through this with them. Their competitors have already long ago awoken to the need for these 5-star reviews. And yeah, it's rough. It's rough, man, when you don't have them and your competitors do. So first thing I want to recommend is that for your business, you're going to do a monthly check. So a monthly client journey check. So type in your category into Google search. Where do you come up? That's okay. But what I want you to key on is your business compared to your competitors. How many 5-star reviews do you have? And how many do your competitors? So the reason is because this is what a potential client would be doing before they come to your business, right? This is a great way for them to compare. And I think it's kind of a no-duh thing, but it's something that a lot of business owners forget, is that they're so focused on their own business and what they're doing that they don't really ever kind of check what a potential customer will see when they're looking for their service. So definitely do that. Search for your category, search for your city, and then see where your business comes up. Check out your competitors. Are there any new ones on the scene? Right? Those new ones, do they already have double the amount of 5-star reviews as you? Yikes. That's happened, or that happens all the time. Do you have old competitors that suddenly you can tell that before their Google listing was not correct or just not optimized at all, and then now they're posting, everything's doing really well, and they look like they've invested some marketing dollars in there. So make sure that you know that. And then obviously you want to make sure that your business has double or triple the amount of 5-star reviews as they do. If you don't, then that should be a wake-up call, right? And it shouldn't be a reason to give up. That's what I've also seen. And I think, Jamie, you have too, right? Other business owners who they get a 1-star review on Google or wherever, and then they just, okay, I hate online world. And
if you ever want to get a business owner, like if you meet him at a mixer or whatever, you say, "Hey, what do you think about Yelp?" And then walk away. It's because the fallout will be tremendous.
Yeah, not a lot of business owners love Yelp, just because of Yelp tends to keep those 1 stars. They want you to call. But on Google, this is really important. And if your competitors are seeing, you don't have any reviews, that they're loving that, right? You definitely don't want to be in that situation. But comparing that, doing what your potential client would do before they call you, that'll kind of, that'll wake you up a little. We have a client who they've been in business for 60, 70 years. And in their city, pretty big city, in the last 3 years, maybe 5 new competitors have come in, and those competitors started getting tons of reviews. Now the reviews, they're an HVAC company. If you know most HVAC companies, they don't have 500 clients per month, right? They down into the 10, 20, 30, 40 clients, maybe visits a month, something like that. But then those competitors, suddenly, within a couple years, they have 2,000 5-star reviews. So when that happens, when you have to see that happening, and then you have to act, right? So I think you can imagine if your company has 50, 60, 70 reviews, and then your competitor has 2,000 reviews, that client journey is not going to end with them picking up the phone to call you first. They're going to call your competitor first. If they don't answer, they'll go down the list, right? If you need an HVAC repair done, or a garage door repair, or anything like that, that's going to be the client journey, right? That makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was going to be one of my questions, though, but I'll save it to the end.
Well, so the organic way of finding your business is one way, right? Then the other way that you want to be aware of is if you're paying for Google ads, there's something called Google local service ads, which are also known as Google guaranteed. So if you type in a search for one of those categories that Google has approved, these are basically ads that Google has verified that this is a business with a license, and they've done a whole kind of a background check on the owners and all the techs, all that stuff. And the results appear with a green check mark next to them. And guess what they also have next to them?
Reviews.
Yeah, they have the review number, 5-star, how many reviews, and your rating because of that. So once again, if your competitor has 2,000 5-star reviews and you have 20, even though you're paying for that ad, you're paying for that space, you're paying for those leads, the number of leads that you're going to get are going to be drastically lower. Like they're going to get 10, 20, 30 times the amount of leads that you are just by nature of those stars. So really, when it's it can get really disillusioning when you're in that space. Law firm came to us last year. They wanted to start these Google local service ads. That's great. They're in a very, very competitive area. They've never really focused on reviews. And then this is what we've run into, is that, no matter how much money they spend on those Google local service ads, they can spend as much as they want, but people aren't clicking on them because their competitors just dwarf them in terms of reviews. And so it's not like, hey, we can spend more ad dollars. You can, but it's not going to really result in more leads. And that's frustrating, right?
Yeah.
So that can be really frustrating, because if you need those leads, you want them, but you've never really thought about reviews. This is another place where if you don't have reviews, you're not going to get calls. Same thing exactly with Yelp, by the way. Yelp they'll always tell you to pay for advertising, but if you don't have any reviews on your profile, who's going to call you? It's basically the dregs of society, the ones who are going to be the biggest time wasters and the worst customers. So,
your mother? Just
yeah, it can get really, disillusioning. So make sure that you have a consistent way of bringing in 5-star reviews. Okay. And we've done episodes about them. But yeah. So any questions up to this point?
Yeah, I just realized I made a horrendous mistake because I know our mother probably does listen to this. And Mom, that was just a joke, just a joke, just a joke, just a joke. Ha ha ha. Joke, joke. Ha ha. Anyway,
Okay.
yes, I do have a question.
Sure.
So yeah, you mentioned the company in business 60 years. They've got 20 or 30 Google reviews.
Sure.
Company comes in, they've been open less than a year, 2,000 reviews.
Yep.
Not possible. And so.
Right.
That happens in my space all the time. And so if I am, it's not, quote unquote fair, but all's not fair. But do you think Google can recognize that this company obviously bought 2,000 fake reviews and does something about that? Or is there a way to help that process along? But when you look at the reviews, they all look rather normal. So what do you think?
Okay, so yes, you can purchase reviews. Definitely there's a market for that. About 2 years ago, Google started filtering reviews much better. So that kind of eliminated a lot of the places where you can purchase reviews. But what I've noticed is any reviews that were purchased or put on there before those 2 years, they're still there, a large majority of them. And so they've kind of been grandfathered in. And so you can one by one go and report each review. So you can go in and you can flag it as and flag it as inappropriate or whatever. Will that take that review off? Probably not. Google. So this is Jamie, your question is very common, but guess what? Guess who doesn't care?
Google.
Yeah, because each division is splintered. Right. Each one is, so you have the Google Business Profile division, never talks to the Google Local Service Ads division, never talks to the Google Ads division. They're all separate. And so they don't, the two big ones that Google cares about, of course, are the Google Ads and the Google Ads, right? If it's a local service ads, they do. But even that one is subservient to the big behemoth, the big moneymaker for Google. So, yeah, they don't really care if those reviews have stayed up and the algorithm hasn't caught them and you report them. Yeah, sometimes they'll take them off. Most times they won't. And so what do you do, Jamie? You're as a business owner, I've had this conversation. If you're not going to get reviews from your past clients, if you're not going to get them from your business acquaintances, your networking groups, stuff like that, all of your employees, anyone whose livelihood depends on the business should be writing a review. They know your business in a business atmosphere. So yeah, I think they should be writing a review for you.
Well, and don't forget your suppliers, because you definitely deal with a ton of suppliers. So that would be, and they can be a testament, as long as you're paying them on time, to how you stay in business. So, okay, well, that's great.
Yeah, it's and that conundrum is there. If you have integrity, you're not going to buy those reviews. But if your next door neighbor, who's your competitor, and their phones are ringing off the hook because of it, right?
Yeah.
So it can be really tough. If you're in the home services, it's tough when you have 2 clients per month. It is. It can get really tough. So to get reviews out of those 2, so you really have to let them know, those clients, the importance of the reviews. You can, with your staff, you can make it a contest. Say, hey, whichever staff member's name gets mentioned in a 5-star review this month, whoever gets the most, they get a $500, cash on the barrelhead. So their staff works to get them. Anything like that incentivizes the staff, you got to do. You have to really, really make sure that the client knows how important these reviews are every step of the way. And if they're happy, they can reward you with that. It's no brainer, man. And it's so important. That's why I wanted to go through this podcast, because when you don't, and like I said, I've seen it, it's really disheartening. So don't be disheartened. Make this a part of your everyday business, and you will succeed because of it. It's awesome.
Excellent.
Thank
all
you.
right.
That's all I got, Jamie.
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, if you are a business owner and you know another business owner, like I mentioned, who can go to a mixer and, hey, what do you guys think about Yelp? And then you can come back 15 minutes, maybe an hour later, and you can let them know to, hey, you need to listen to the Local SEO in 10 podcast. Let me share it to you because SEO expert Adam Duran has some somewhat solutions for you, especially when it comes to Google. So make sure to share out this podcast. Make sure to leave this podcast a 5-star review. It really helps our rankings, especially in the business category. And then if you have a question about a topic in SEO, feel free to go to our website, magnifiedmedia.com, magnifiedmedia.net, sorry, and click on the podcast button.
Both.
And then search for that topic. And if there is a topic there, go ahead and check out those podcasts. Generally, there's at least 2 or 3. And if not, feel free to send us a message on our LinkedIn or Facebook pages, Local SEO in 10, and we will try and get to that question or topic in another upcoming podcast. Maybe 2 a week. Oof. All right, Adam. We will talk to you next week.
That's all for now. Thanks for listening to this episode of Local SEO in 10 with Google local marketing expert Adam Duran. Join us each week for answers to your questions on how to best harness the power of the internet to grow your business. Speaking of questions, got some? Message us through our Facebook page, Local SEO in 10, and we'll be sure to give you your answer on an upcoming episode. This episode of Local SEO in 10 is brought to you by Magnified Media, the leading online marketing agency in Northern California, who invite you to grow your business by magnifying your online visibility and credibility. Visit them on the web at www.magnifiedmedia.com. Magnify your business, magnify your profits.